This is a poem called To Be a Crone. I remember the first time that I thought I was pretty. I was on a family holiday in some Italian city, when that Italian boy just held my eye for a little bit longer and I was curious why. I turned around, I looked over my shoulder and he had looked back. He was about 5 years older than me. I remember feeling a huge sense of pride, but man, I wish I'd never seen myself from the outside. Because I started secondary school and things took a turn, social pressure took hold, made it impossible to learn what I was meant to, and instead I learnt what not to do. All the ways to avoid being you. And one thing I learned very early on was that you had to be pretty not to get picked on. And I wanted to be safe, of course I did, so I moulded, I shapeshifted, I shrank and I hid the parts of me that were pretty special. Goofy teeth, frizzy hair, everything that was less cool. And it worked. And I pretended I didn't care that it took me 3 hours to straighten my hair. I got just pretty enough to be protected from pain. I would never get picked on again. Yet, there I was, fearing it being snatched away, that what had served me would up sticks and leave me one day. So you just have to cling on the best way you can, and man, what better way than by getting a tan. And everyone said I looked better with a tan. And it felt like a success, you know, that I can get darker. And I thought, yes, this is it. I get praise from boys at school who think I'm fit. And then I felt safe, knowing I'd finally achieved what I set out to do. I was so relieved to have finally in my hands, but nobody told me that it was like holding sand and you can't hold it forever. It will slip away and you will have to face, literally, a reckoning one day where you look in the mirror and you start noticing lines and you fundamentally know that this should be fine. Getting older was always going to happen, was it not? Why the hell is this such a shock? But genuinely, I'm in such a state of panic. I find myself hoping that others feel the same, and it makes me obsess over people's faces, comparing theirs to mine and all over the place. It's insane. And wait, are they happy in their skin? Because I can't imagine that in the skin that I'm in, which is so mad to admit that I search in them to get the acceptance I can't source for myself just yet. Because I don't feel worthy, because I haven't clung to youth. I feel like I failed and my face is the proof. Too much time in the sun trying to conform to the standards that were set in the noughties that were the norm. And signs of aging I just can't abide. They make me feel like I need to hide, and suddenly being in public feels like a threat. People can see a standard I've not met. People are judging that I've let myself go, and I feel that I could have prevented it, you know? Less time in the sun was always my thing. Now I'm living with the consequences and everything they bring. I don't recognize myself. And I see someone else, no longer pretty. I'm left on the shelf. Wait, all this time, I've been objectifying myself. Hang on there, there's something deeper going on. Why do I feel unlovable as my youth is gone? And why do I associate beauty with age? Like, if I'm older, I can't have beauty. It fills me with rage because men, they can age like fine wine. Silver fox. Women, it's like they get put in this rigid box of midlife, invisible, over the hill. And worse, it could have been prevented with just sheer will. And when I look at men's faces, they look normally haggard, not in a way that society deems as bad. And I'm terrified of becoming invisible, because being young made me feel like life was livable, and now I feel threatened and I don't know where my place is, and I'm searching online for ways to feel safe if I've aged badly and I look older than I am. Why does it matter? It's just a meat sack. So I googled how to feel better aging, and all that came up was a page after page of ways to nip and tuck and places to pull and to gua sha and suck you in and tweeze and massage and pluck, and where to place Botox to lift the brow and how to inject the smile lines to remove it somehow, and use this cream. It truly turns back the clock. But guys, what? To turn the clock back? That is a trap. Because I know deep down it doesn't feel good, and I want to accept myself like I should, but this is harder than I ever imagined, and it keeps me from connecting, which is sad. And I can't wait to look at myself when I'm 80 and see a face that reminds me of the weight of the life I've lived. The stresses, the travel, because it's all part of what has helped me to unravel, to becoming, to come home to the place I can rest, because I can enjoy myself and feel my best, because I don't give a shit anymore about beauty. It is the biggest con in the world to me. And I might not get there to 80. That's the reality, that the next 50 years are not guaranteed to me. And I don't want to look back and regret all the years I obsessed in the mirror and accumulated fears. What if life's harder? No one holds the door open to me when I walk through anymore. And what if my partner falls out of love? What if being older means I'm not enough? I recently found a video while scrolling on my phone about archetypes: the maiden, the mother, the crone. And if we get work done and plasticify our faces, we don't allow ourselves to move through these phases. We keep ourselves stuck in a purgatory, and I really do not want that for me, because truly it feels like a hell, and I want to value what's underneath the shell. I want to experience my face as the mother. It's not even about kids, but just in service to others, and the passing of wisdom that comes with age, that comes with wrinkles and saggy skin on my face. And the crone is the phase I'm most excited about, because I heard it's the place you can truly be without fucks on the other side of this stuff the society tells us we need to be enough. Where what we wear is more important than fashion, it's warmth and deep knowing, and it's compassion for others, but crucially for self. Now tell me that isn't the best kind of shelf to end up on, and I will rest there with pride, and I will have those I love by my side, because my worth is not determined by my face. It says nothing about my inner world and my grace, and the people I love, they'll love me regardless. But man, this societal stuff is not harmless, and if anyone else is experiencing this, man, I see you. I'm sorry, and this is something we can get through. We were already left on the shelf anyway, without our consent. We didn't get a say. We were put up there to be gawped at by men, comparing ourselves to each other and wondering when we'd be chosen, and then life could begin. But I can choose me deeply from within. So I will choose my very own shelf, because finally, I choose myself. When I began writing this in the notes on my phone, I titled it, "Oh, the magic of becoming a crone."